what we would be asking for, really, for the Minister to consider now is to say that there should be a new cost-benefit analysis done of the M3 motorway, considering the fact that there's 4 motorways planned for County Meath, and you know, it's unheard of in Europe where you have the M1, 2, 3 and 4 almost going parallel through the same county. That surely there should be a more sustainable way of getting people in and out of Dublin. The distance between Navan and Dunshaughlin is actually increased radically by the route that they chose. Not only does it have 2 crossings of the existing road, but it adds a 2.5 kilometres to the distance between Navan and Dunshaughlin. So it's almost as if they added a way to go over through Tara here and go through the valley and then back across over. There is a chart here that the NRA used to assess the 38 sites that they discovered between Navan and Dunshaughlin, and they have various headings on which they judge the sites. You'll note there's 3 particular headings here. Historical significance of every single site says none. The architectural significance of every single site says none. And the cultural significance of every single site in the Tara Screen Valley is none, according to the NRA. This would have been the geophysical image of the site, and you know, one of the complaints that we had was that they didn't do geophysical testing before they picked the route. You would have thought that they would have geotested all the routes, but they didn't. They picked the route, and then they went back and did the testing to see what it was they were going to destroy and having already picked the route. This is another site. This is actually one of the ones that I sued over. This is Barnstown, I believe. And again, another massive enclosure. I mean, this a big circular site with another circular enclosure within. It sounded a lot like the one that they had just discovered, but for some reason this one wasn't a national monument. Again, a burial site, circular enclosure. This is Collierstown, another burial site. The whole valley just seems to be littered with burial sites. Even up at Arsala, one of the first ever finds up to the north of Tara, we went in and had a look at that site when they were doing the test trenching a few years ago, and it was an incredible burial site where they had not only cremation remains, but they had children all buried, laid down side by side facing the same direction. And they had, with the test trenching, they had gone through every 20 meters with a machine and dug a trench right across. And the machine had actually shaved off the top of one of the cremation pots there, so you actually see inside this pot and see the ashes inside of it. And this was Rosetown. This is another site that has disappeared now since January. It was just north of Dunshaughlin. It had what were called beehive souterrains, a whole complex of beehive souterrains, which were basically underground chambers with underground passages connecting them to each other. When Minister Roach gave his directions for the M3, it was on May 1st, 2005, but he gave two sets of directions on that day. On one hand, he gave directions for the M3 to go ahead as planned. On the very same day, he gave directions for the M25 in Waterford to be rerouted because they had discovered a new national monument in Waterford. So on one hand, he was going into court and going into the media saying, look, my hands are tied by Waterford and all that. I can't reroute the motorway at Tara, you know. All I can do is approve and not approve direction. And on the other hand, because the NRA had reported the national monument they found, he's saying, oh, well, very important things happened in Waterford and we have to move the road.
TaraWatch have consistently asked in the past that independent archaeologists be allowed to inspect the sites, and we even went as far as to say that we'd call off the campaign if independent archaeologists were allowed in, and we're still waiting for a response.